Hello, IK here. Uh, order events order flow uh, gets out from the box, from the from the from the trees. Look at on forest in React Redux mock server application, and here is what I write on the paper with my hand, but here it is on the screen. And because it is clear, then if I make photo of paper on the floor, because you must see complete image, complete diagram. For example, here you don't see complete panoramic. You must scroll, and it is not it, because take pen, write on the right on the paper, and enjoy in learning with hand and paper, with pen in the hand, uh, because our brain, when we have pen in hand, there is more job for control. Press of every of our fingers on the pen, press pen on the paper, all that all together, and configure every letters without how we it do. If we are patient, it is excellent. It would be excellent result. And you write panoramic events order flow. Events order flow is programmed. When we work any project if we create a novel, or if we create a movie, if we create some financial project, etc., we must write subject, object, and the order of go order when that subject, that object would be enable and disable, visible and not visible. And thanks to that diagram of events, diagram of persons or subject, you can control your novel, your every your project. And here is, for example, if you know React Redux mock server, simplest possible only programming, CRUD, create, read, update, delete features. And you must know to write event, because user interface is graphical. And in graphical user interface, contrary to text intensive, character intensive, like DOS, user interface graphical means that applications are events driver, events drived, event drive. It is not leaf by leaf, like book in web application, web pages. Is not leaf by leaf like book, but it is not linear like book. It is uh, event driver, event driver. It is association driving, association driving. Uh, Association driving means that you in your brain create your path in learning, in buying, in teaching, in anything what you do. You create your path. You click this, click this, click this, click this, go ahead, go wide, deep, etc. And our my React Redux application is event driver. Okay, if it is like it, here is that event. It is like some summary of all this my video. Uh, read post. Read post is something what must happen first. Uh, read post means to see post. In this situation, it is post. To see post, blog post on the screen, and after that, I can delete post, update, and create new post. But read happen without my interventions. Only my interventions is enter web address. Enter web address or npm start in our editor. After that, immediately loading, at first loading HTML loading, index.html. What's really happened here? Here happened really a web technology, hypertext transfer protocol. And it is like a layer what satisfy hypertext transfer protocol. It is like any HTML page from beginning, from 1990, from Tim Lee Berners' time and invention. We have a web HTML document. It is index.html. We have it in a public folder. And we have a web server, but we here have Node.js server, JavaScript server. And in that JavaScript server, inside of the node, there is embedded hypertext transfer protocol and web server, client web server. Embedded, and this embedded part in a node server activate first. But from beginning of JavaScript, we always have JavaScript never get alone, always loaded after some HTML document, because JavaScript uses for manipulation with the HTML element in HTML document. Now here, index.html loading, and this script, index.js script, in the end of the document index.html, like always, like from first day of JavaScript, would be called index.js. JS extension means it is JavaScript file, and that file can be loaded only like this script, index.js script, after some HTML documents. And this part is, as always, for us who coming in React from PHP, HTML, PHP, and JavaScript vanilla. And this is known. There is no confusion here. And now index.js is called. Event called something. Here event finished loading HTML and even this script index.js, it is calling. It is calling file index.js. It is a script what calling, which calling index.js. And in the index.js start processing is called and start processing. Go in JavaScript engine or virtual machine language and go in processing, index.js. And that index.js process call other JS file, call store.js, call app.js component, call add post form component, and all what call it is JS extension. And we have read add post form on the screen. After that, we see loading because post list JS process need from mock server. We waiting how would be finished asynchronous process, and if all is okay, read post on the screen and app.js processed, finished processed. App.js must begin processing, but before must process the child, add post form, post list, these two child components. And after that, we have all visible on the screen. It means after that, app.js finished processed. Here is a processing, not rendering. When I spoke about the details, I talk rendering, but processing and rendering is a synonym. I want to say that processing, it is my PHP vocabulary coming here and knowledge coming here in JavaScript, because rendering is processing. Rendering means row by row, state by statement, from top to down, will be processed in processor, processed in processor. Concretely, it means will be processed in JavaScript engine. It is virtual machine program programmed in virtual machine language, and coming in assembler, and the assembler is one-to-one with switches in processor, and assembler is language for concretely controller processor, and assembler is program, assembly is language, and processor working, hardware working, switches working, 101010, etc. And it is processing row by row, and it is also rendering. And rendering is used here, better used to here, because accent and the point of view on all process is from user interface. When we look at an user interface, it is image, and the image always rendered in AutoCAD, in project, and any tools for image have rendering. And here we look at on the web page. Here is a web page, but that web page must be rendered. Web page here that can have a lot of components, more or less components, but together it is HTML page like it was from first day existence. And that web page here, HTML document, we call here rendering. Again, because point of view our point of view in JavaScript framework and React library, a point of view is user interface. It is a library for user interface. Okay. But also, I spoke about programming. Programmer, it is from programmer's view, it is processing. From user interface, it is rendering. And in web technology, work together web designer and programmer. And we call both developers, front-end developers, back-end developers. And the user interface, web front-end is nothing without data, nothing. But data means back-end. And the two parties together, and a lot of people is full stack developer. It means front end and back end. Okay, now create new post. Now we see all on the web page on the screen. We see add new post form. Below that we see every post in post list, every post. Below every post we see update, delete. It means, but now at first we create new post. Create new post means add post form JS ready to be loaded. Empty input, HTML element, and empty content for content, text area element. We type on change event, on change title, on change content, and press button save post. It is on click event call on save post clicked function, and inside that function we have dispatch add new post title content, and posts with new post are on the screen. And again, after all, add post form is ready to be loaded. If all is okay. Here, dispatch add new post, because it is Tank1 application, mock server remote, data remote. Add new post is Tank function. It means add new post. Go out from this parentheses of dispatch and dispatch to action. Not one, but two action. One action type pending and one action fulfilled if all is okay. If not, rejected. Type action rejected. Okay, now update post. Update post start with the update post disabled when we see, and update post enable when we click in update button below every post. There is a update and the delete, and you click in one update below one post, and that moment update post form is visible, is enabled, and now on change title, on change content, and form on submit. Up is button on click. Here is a form on submit. Event handler. Event is on submit. Handler is on update post click. Inside that update, we have dispatch update post. Update post here is Tank function. And it means that update post would be executed outside of this parenthesis of dispatch, and send and dispatch, that Tank function will dispatch enable type, dispatch pending type action, and fulfilled if all is okay. Update post form is disabled if all is okay, and we see posts with edited posts are on the screen. Delete post. Delete post is some shortest script. It is always uh, because we need ID of post, what we want to delete. In update, we have a lot of job. ID, update title, update. Here, only say ID of post, what you want to delete. And here it is button on click. It is button on delete button below every post. And on click event call arrow function inside body of arrow function is dispatch handle delete post ID. Here it is, only post ID. We need post ID. Handle delete is thank function. Dispatch pending type. After that, dispatch fulfilled. What means, what is here fulfilled? Fulfilled is what we send that we have back. We send post ID of post what we want to delete. That post in asynchron request delete, that request give to server, mock server, post ID. And mock server delete with software in server, delete that post. But server, mock server, send back that post ID like payload, and that payload post ID we find in our in reducer. Reducer find that post in existing actual post and create new array of posts without deleted one, and it is a new post, new global post. Take care that always thank the thank inside thank we have a request, asynchron request, and in that asynchron request we send we at first when we want read we get method, get request, nothing give but only request, get give me existing data, and existing data from server go to in response data coming to client, and in client we create we clear complete list what coming from server. When we add new post, we send title, and when we add new post, create new post, add post for, we send look at add new post, dispatch add new post, parameter title and content. It is request body, and in request body coming on the mock server, incorporate that new, it push new post to existing array post, and immediately create ID, and in response data we have ID title content, ID title content. In update, in body, it is complete update post we send ID, post, title, and content together. Here it is complete what we send. And all that we will have back in response data and create by reducer through reducer create new post and delete we said about delete we send ID and we have back ID and here is a very important to understand that request and response what go like request go request is in body of request is our action action is add new post action is update delete etc and the same data go back in mock server send back in response oh request response it is functionality it is of HTTP hypertext transfer protocol hypertext transfer protocol have request and response first web pages was client request and web server response. It is now like it is like here, but we immediately see on the screen any changes. We see updated, what deleted. We see that add new post immediately. But if somebody on the world uh, on the world delete some post, add new post, we don't see it. We don't see it. We must refresh. We must refresh when happened reading from beginning. And after refresh, we see the newest data in a mock server. But this configuration that we immediately see our changes, it is excellent user experience. But if we want to see what other post, what other add new post in the world, immediately to see it, it is Facebook, Twitter, etc. It is social network. We need on the server tools for that option. It's all. It's all. And that bot on that server would be sent immediately to us what somebody in the world post, delete, post, updates, etc. And it is and we see that every day that that correspondence in social network, Facebook, Twitter, etc., where we communicate in real time with our friends. And it is because of that server, there is that bot for that function to send immediately any changes from anybody in the world. In any case, social network or this kind of activity, our activity, when we see only our changes without refresh, it is excellent for user in experience. That it is a reason that JavaScript framework front end, and concretely here is a React, is very popular and go up, ramp up very fast in perspective against all others. But we don't lose as SQL and classic and MySQL and other relation database management, uh, because they have data, they are container for our data. SQL languages is excellent for some structure of data, and uh, it is absolutely uh, uh, actual that knowledge of database is actual and very big value. There is a big value today, and you work today with it. Uh, ok- I concretely plan to work with database no SQL, and to see and to see uh, contrary and pro, and write about that. But in uh, this moment I am here. For me, is the most important uh, to explain React, Redux in that elemental future. Create CRUD, acronym CRUD, create, read, update, delete. Uh, Explain uh, confusion free, deep, dig deep, not wide, not wide. Why I must write and record video about how to create your first I am, I was, and why create, how create to first React application, and all repeat in that level. Uh, no, I can explain this, what I explain now, for example, what can be confused for a beginner. For example, what go to server in request, what get back in response data. Also, what is promise subject? When we don't see promise, word promise, don't we have in the script, but it is some very important element in receive in response data. It is object, a request function. It is get, post, put, delete. Request function immediately return promise object, and response data coming in promise object. Okay, and promise object give it in program, in JavaScript is single thread program, and promise object play role in asynchron request, in asynchron process, and take response data in asynchron process and give it in synchronized process. Give it in synchronized process. All that is very short and very classical, like it is all synchronized, thanks to word async and wait, keyword async and wait, create for us job that we have a possibility to code our script as it is synchronized. Okay, this panoramic view in events order flow, and it is interesting for you that you with hand write it on the paper, and include your and write you not you didn't need look at in my this text, and it is interesting. What would you include in that panoramic? Maybe there is a panoramic and shorter. It is possible shorter, right? The shortest panoramic look would be crude, and after crude would be create, read, update, delete, and after that we can spoke about create, about update, etc., etc., and in every of these events, in about every of these statements about facts in this list, in this panoramic view, there is a lot of there is a lot of for explain, and I have that. I was that in my video on YouTube, and I will again repeat it. Repeating by repeating, I learn also. But I also suggest to you that repeat and repeat and repeat, and remove any confusion and from your hand, because waiting for us a lot of changes, lot of changes waiting for us, and in this technology. And if we don't know deep and without confusion React, Redux, crude, we cannot go to connection to MySQL or any other relation database. We can go to connection to no SQL database. We can go to coding e-commerce or any other little bigger bigger and multi-page, multi components application. But if we know deep, crude, this crude, what about this application tank one, about what I spoke a lot of, explain, etc. If you that know without confusion, if you can it coding without look at coding in front of any interviewer in any company, you are ready for the most complex application, of course, with learning, and of course in some firm where you have mentors and excellent conditions for learning and cooperation. It's all for this video. Thank you for watching this video.